Thanks, Phil. More than 80 active fires are burning across 12 states, with California, Washington, and Oregon hit especially hard. Roughly 1.5 million acres have already burned as firefighters struggle to contain the blazes. The fires may be largely in the west, but they have cast a pall of haze across the country. In fact, earlier today, the National Weather Service issued a warning about poor air quality in Chicago, citing the smoke from the western wildfires. Joining us now to share his insight is Rao Kotamarthi. He's the chief scientist and department head of the Atmospheric Science and Climate Research Group at Argonne National Laboratory. Thanks so much for joining us. And, you know, in terms of the fires that we are seeing across much of the western United States as well as in Canada, are these significantly worse than in previous years?
Right now they are not worse than before. Like 2020 was kind of the worst year. So they are ranging about the average. And I think later on in early August, probably they will deviate a little bit more into the extreme.
2020, always the worst year for in so many ways. Why have they, however, they are bad this year as well on
Yes.
top of last year.
Yeah.
Why is this? Is it a sign of climate change?
So as a caution, it's always not better to look at one incident and say it is climate change, but you have to look at the trend. If you look at the last 10, 15 years, the amount of these forest fires have been increasing steadily. And it is getting worse each year. And it is pretty certain that part of it is contributed by climate change. For this particular one, there is a drought that developed in California, kind of unexpected in the sense that 2019, they came out of a drought. And then it again went into a drought early this year. So that was a kind of a reason for California fires in much of the West. And they have been growing quite rapidly over the last 2 months. It's early summer, so it is kind of not very common to have wildfires this early in the season.
So that is a change in terms of the seasonality. Typically, you would have fires occurring perhaps more in the fall, but now we're seeing them more in the summer. Now, you brought up the drought conditions in the West. So can you speak more to that longer fire season brought on by these droughts? And I mean, how long has this drought been going?
So it's about 6 to 8 months now. The thing with the drought is that what happens is when you have a drought and you get a hot and low moisture atmospheric conditions, what it does is that it sucks soil out of the water out of the soil and vegetation, so it becomes more dry. So when you have a high wind, hot temperature, and low moisture conditions like we have right now, it essentially is making the vegetation more dry. That kind of makes it all you need right now, and then is just something to light a fire, and something like a fireworks or some campfire. That starts the fire. So this is what is happening right now in much of the West, and it is partly due to climate change in the sense that we never seen these kinds of temperatures in the West. For example, most of the records were broken in the West over the last few weeks. And again, another heat dome is developing. So these are not usual conditions in much of the Pacific Northwest, for example. So it's a pretty interesting situation that is being brought in by the climate change.
And I believe that the thought is that this fire in Oregon, the bootleg began perhaps because of a lightning strike. So can't really blame that on anybody, but terrible nonetheless. Now, in terms of how that impacts us, many states, many miles away, we noted that Haze across the country, the National Weather Service, again, issuing an air quality alert that warns people with pulmonary and respiratory issues to limit their time outdoors. Is that why we're seeing seemingly smoggy air when we go outside, and how hazardous to our health is it?
So I think probably Thursday and Friday, you have seen some of this. So if you look around 4 kilometers in the atmosphere, we have been making some measurements at Argonne, and we can see a pretty thick layer, dense layer of smoke around 4 kilometers and above. So that is, of course, is not harmful to you because it's flowing right across the country. But when it mixes down to the surface, like where we live, essentially, then that's when it becomes a health problem. So you expect conditions like this to develop later in the evening, like around 5, 6. There will be a mix down of some of that pollution. and you would see an increase in the number of particles. So I think we saw last week about 40 micrograms per meter cube of PM 2.5, which is twice what we expect in summer in Chicago. So that is, the EPA standard is around 30, I think, 30 micrograms. So we are seeing elevated amounts of particle pollution here, and that does have some health effects.
On top of course, ozone, smog, and the
Yes.
regular issues that with air quality that we experience in this region. Now, the bootleg fire started, I think, 2 weeks ago. The fire in California, about a week and a half. How long are these going to continue to smolder?
So the smoldering can take place 5-6 months. So there's some of these fires actually smolder for a long time. But the fires themselves, the prediction, the forecast I've seen is that sometime around middle of August, you'll reach a peak of burned area, according to forecast. So you can expect these kind of things to happen for the next 3 to 4 weeks at least before they start dying down. At least at the extent we are seeing right now.
Thank you so very much for that explanation. Our appreciation to you, Rao Kotamarthi.